everybody. Global American Liberty Fighters. I was going to start doing a video series on the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence. I was going to start with the Declaration of Independence and work my way through the Constitution from beginning to end. But since it's Sunday and tomorrow is the first presidential debate between the Democrat and the Republican candidate, I thought maybe I would start with the Constitution and go right into the executive, because I think that seems to be where people who are voting for a candidate are looking at the executive or the president who will, or the president to be, to do changes or make changes somehow to better our country. And for me, the executive is limited in what they are authorized constitutionally to do. And I don't think a lot of people really understand or know. So that I get it completely correct, I'm going to read this straight out of the Constitution. I actually have the Constitution downloaded in a PDF on my laptop that I use, as well as a pocket Constitution in my truck all the time, wherever I go. So let me go ahead and I want to read. It's Article 2, the Executive Branch, and it's Section 1, the President. The executive power shall be vested in a President of the United States of America. He shall hold his office during the term of 4 years, and together with the Vice President, chosen for the same term, be elected as follows. Each state shall appoint in such manner as the legislature thereof may direct a number of electors equal to the whole number of senators and representatives to which the state may be entitled in the Congress. But no senator or representative or person holding an office of trust or profit under the United States shall be appointed an elector. And it goes into telling you some more things in parentheses. The electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for 2 persons, of whom one at least shall not lie an inhabitant of the same state with themselves, and they shall make a list of all the persons voted for, and of the number of votes for each, which list they shall sign and certify and transmit sealed to the seat of the government of the United States, directed to the President of the Senate. The President of the Senate shall, in the presence of the Senate and House of Representatives, open all the certificates, and the votes shall then be counted. The person having the greatest number of votes shall be the President, if such number be a majority of the whole number of electors appointed, and if there be more than one who have such majority and have an equal number of votes, then the House of Representatives shall immediately choose by ballot one of them for President, and if no person have a majority, then from the 5 highest on the list, the said House shall in like manner choose the President. But in choosing the President, the votes shall be taken by states, the representation from each state having 1 vote. A quorum for this purpose shall consist of a member or members from 2/3 of the states, and a majority of all the states shall be necessary to a choice. In every case, after the choice of the President, the person having the greatest number of votes of the electors shall be the Vice President. But if there should remain 2 or more who have equal votes, the Senate shall choose from them by ballot the Vice President. This clause in parentheses was superseded by the 12th Amendment. So we'll go into the 12th Amendment later. The Congress may determine the time of choosing the electors and the day on which they shall give their votes, which day shall be the same throughout the United States. No person except a natural-born citizen or a citizen of the United States at the time of the adoption of this Constitution shall be eligible to the office of President. Neither shall any person be eligible to that office who shall not have attained to the age of 35 years and be 14 years a resident within the United States. And in here we have, in case of the removal of the President from office or of his death, resignation, or inability to discharge the powers and duties of the said office, the same shall dissolve on the Vice President, and the Congress may by law provide for the case of removal, death, resignation, or inability both of the President and Vice President, declaring what officer shall then act as President, and such officer shall act accordingly until the disability be removed or a President shall be elected. This clause in parentheses, what I just read, has been modified by the 20th and 25th Amendments, which we'll go into again later. The President shall at stated times receive for his services a compensation which shall neither be increased nor diminished during the period for which he shall have been elected, and he shall not receive within that period any other emoluments from the United States or any of them. Before he enter on the execution of his office, he shall take the following oath or affirmation. Very important, this oath. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. Doesn't seem that we have a president who's done that in a while. Section 2, Civilian Power over Military Cabinet Pardon Power Appointments. The President shall be Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy of the United States and of the militia of the several states when called into the actual service of the United States. He may require the opinion in writing of the principal officer in each of the executive departments upon any subject relating to the duties of their respective offices. And he shall have power to grant reprieves and pardons for offenses against the United States, except in cases of impeachment. He shall have power by and with the advice and consent of the Senate to make treaties provided 2/3 of the senators present concur, and he shall nominate and by and with the advice and consent of the Senate shall appoint ambassadors, other public ministers and counsels, judges of the Supreme Court, and all other officers of the United States, whose appointments are not herein otherwise provided for, and which shall be established by law. But the Congress may, by law, vest the appointment of such inferior officers as they think proper, in the President alone, in the courts of law, or in the heads of departments. So all of those people who are screaming and hollering about the Senate and the House or the Congress not going ahead and affirming, or at least holding, allowing the President's Supreme Court nominee to go through, and they either approve him or disapprove him. They don't have to. They've never had to. That's not part of what is in the Constitution. So those people that keep screaming about that, whatever. Let's see. The President shall have power to fill up all vacancies that may happen during the recess of the Senate by granting commissions which shall expire at the end of their next session. So all of those vacancies that were put in illegally are supposedly invalid. But, I mean, we don't hear that anymore, do we? They're still there, as far as I know. Section 3, State of the Union Convening Congress. He shall from time to time give to the Congress information of the State of the Union, and recommend to their consideration such measures as he shall judge necessary and expedient. He may on extraordinary occasions convene both houses, or either of them, and in case of disagreement between them, with respect to the time of adjournment, he may adjourn them to such time as he shall think proper. He shall receive ambassadors and other public ministers. He shall take care that the laws be faithfully executed, and shall commission all the officers of the United States. Section 4, Disqualification. The President, Vice President, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. So I don't know why Congress hasn't done anything with, say, the Democratic presidential candidate, the current president, Secretary of State, or Hillary Clinton, who was the Secretary of State, the former Secretary of State, the Treasury Secretary, the Secretary of the IRS. They could all have been impeached for things that they've done. Let's see. So that's all it says about the executive. I don't hear anywhere in the description of what a president does or the rights the president has per Constitution where it states anything about the president, I don't know, having any power over what a budget we have, what's in the budget, telling Congress what to do, telling Congress they're going to do what he wants, or he's going to use his pen and paper and use executive action and executive orders. I don't know. That's just my take on it. Read it yourself. Nowhere in the Constitution under the executive branch, under what the president of the United States, under his power, does it state anything about what he's allowed to do that constitutionally the Congress is allowed and has authorization and power over. So I'll probably start off. The next video I do might be over Congress, over what the Congress has, since that's also something that I find Congress isn't doing their job either. So definitely give me your opinion, give me your comments. If if you think I'm wrong in what I'm reading through the Constitution, you're more than welcome to, debate the subject with me or whatever. Tell me how much I'm wrong and where I'm wrong, or if you agree, awesome. I'm glad that I have someone in agreement. So anyhow, until my next video, I hope you've enjoyed this one. Please share, subscribe, and have a great day. Thanks. Bye.